Hey guys, welcome back to episode 2 of Stories of Conquest. I'm Konstantinos.
I'm Leo.
Stavro.
Maria.
And there was a slight change since the previous session. Small. You barely noticed it, I'm sure. But let's get right on to it. Just a small reminder of what happened. Mathilde has been tasked by the Countess of Lerac, called Uriel by admirers and haters both, to transport her expertise along with a very significant library to the distant lands of the Rus. During their travels, they were attacked repeatedly, and it made them realize that they're carrying more than that. They're carrying items of potential political significance that will enhance the allies of the Countess in those lands. And when they reached my head is complete. Versy, thank you. When they reached Versy, at the borders of Galania Transinia, they realized that one of their wannabe both attackers and saviors, the so-called Grey Scorpion, none other than Duke Emmerich of Königstad, offered them his support and an escort of 200 armed men. And having agreed at first opportunity, by someone's suggestions, we don't name names here, it was Otto. It was.
I don't see any Ottos here.
All right. You're now back in your rooms after exchanging farewell pleasantries with the Duke. You are now back in your rooms, fairly certain that they can't hear you talk. And everybody's kind of looking at Otto, I think.
I think this is a good point. Okay, you guys need to see the bigger picture here. This was a plan. Orchestrated by me. Not successfully. A plan nonetheless. This is awkward. Because, what happened is the person that attacked us, we actually managed to interrogate someone. They told us the name. And then that person saved us, and then in my infinite wisdom I didn't fully connect the two, even though I passed every roll that would allow me to connect these two, but I personally didn't, and so I agreed to the help of of that man in hopes that I as a noble can benefit from this at some point. Pro tip, that was the wrong move. And so now I think it's a good idea to try and use the 200 men that we are escorting. This is how I'd like to see it. Mm-hmm. I'm an optimist. And to leave the town, because Rolf also had a very interesting encounter with one of the guards.
Details.
And so we might use them, but then it might be a good idea to try and escape, because things might get a little awkward towards Pravia.
So we're gonna escape these two.
Yes. These 200. Pun intended, yeah.
Mathilde, your significant studies give you some insight about the geography ahead. And you know that once you reach Pravia, there are only certain passageways that lead further east, as there is a huge kind of cliff, because from your geological studies, you know that the lands of the Polmag are kind of risen above the rest, so that leaves only specific points where you can pass. That, of course, can be a disadvantage, because if they monitor those passages, it's easier for them to keep you in check. But you also know that there is a river that runs under that cliff for the most part of it. It leaves and come back and leaves and come back, but for the most part of it, it's there. So maybe even at Pravia, but until then it would be a little difficult to escape them, possibly. You could somehow stealthily get a boat and try to outrun them.
Rolf belatedly gets up and goes to see if we're being followed.
No, we've already checked that. You are
pretty
confident that they can't hear you now, at least.
So we're being followed, even.
That is also kind of certain.
By all 200 at the same time. I like to think that they all go in one group. everywhere like this.
I have the same image.
I like to think that the group of 200 people are like, whoop.
They are asterisk,
There's like
asterisk
behind
legionnaires.
Yeah, exactly.
behind the wall, and like every single Roman, like asterisk coming out. So I think Pravia would be the easiest place for us to lose them. In the city, surrounded by people, I think that would be a good place to evade our friends.
Why did you say yes?
I have the same question, says Trist.
Listen, guys, you need to understand something. If you only piss off one person in a campaign, we might as well not play this. See me as an alternative storyteller here, like. And also, I could not, for the life of me, remember that the two were the same person.
Okay. So, we've got these 200 guards, exactly where we want them, all around us.
We have them surrounded. They're all in this building. We have them exactly where we want them.
All around us.
It means we can hit in every direction.
Easier to target.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't expect that.
I just sort of dejectedly grab my furs. And I don't know.
Everything is paid for, and the rest of the night is free.
Right?
He's gonna go
Right?
off a tab. He's gonna leave the fucker a tab at least.
There we go. Make the best out of a bad situation.
Another one of our goals. Like
He goes down to the ladies, but he's not really into it.
He wonders.
Confused.
He wonders what true love is, and what he has done with his life so far.
He's just confused, guys.
In the meantime, while Rolf is otherwise engaged, two men knock militarily, very assuredly at the door. And they introduce themselves when they open. You see very Herman features familiar to you, Otto. They introduce themselves as Degenhardt and Ingolf Kurzig, and they will be the two commanders that will lead the 200 men. Now, immediately that tips you off that since there is not one commander, the two, let's say, companies of 100 men each, about, you guess, have or may have different orders at any given point.
But we won't know.
No, I think
Because
we will.
their orders will be superseded by catch the fuckers.
Yeah,
Language.
I think their orders will be superseded by split into two different directions and make sure you catch them.
Yes, catch the fornicators. Excellent.
There are opportunities here that you may not be able to see. Myself included.
He's exploiting the opportunities right now. He made a tab and he's running it.
Good.
They are polite men, especially one of them. The other is kind of grumpy all the time. And they do tell you that the men are waiting or will be waiting at first light tomorrow from the southwest gate.
Okay.
Anything specific you want to do before we leave this?
Work out my frustrations.
You do so very effectively. It is a very good frustration
I'd like
release.
to check with Mathilde about those tools we've talked about in the past. These flash. I want to say flashbangs, and that's pretty much what
Just
it
call them
is.
flashbangs.
Yeah,
They're
just call them
flashbangs, but
flashbangs.
like if we can make some, they might come in handy. I'm not expecting a ninja disappearance, but at some point.
What could go wrong creating
Enough.
explosive chemicals in a brothel?
Well, she doesn't have to make them tonight, but you're
But
going to have
like-
at least a week of traveling before you reach Pravia. If she finds a way to, during the evenings, to work on that. It wouldn't be ideal. We won't have the proper equipment, but you could possibly do it with some difficulty.
Tonight.
Not tonight, in the next week
Over
or
the
so.
course of the next few
Yeah.
months.
And any other amount of lethal weaponry.
You want me in the next course to be working on my chemicals while we're moving on horseback, sleeping probably out in open camp?
And surrounded by guys who are going to be wondering,
Mathilde,
what's that?
Mathilde,
Yes.
doing
No,
things on the move will be
Mathilde is,
the theme.
I think...
I vote we ignore Otto until he's no longer drunk.
He's disappointed in himself at this point. I think I'm more disappointed in myself more than anything else.
Okay, so I think I should start experimenting today a little bit. Anyways, it's a brothel. It's getting loud and louder downstairs. I don't think any strange sound might draw too much attention in here.
Unless it's followed by the bright flash.
And half of the rooftop gone missing.
That was yes.
And then she could say, we had great chemistry.
Yeah.
No.
I'll stop.
I will edit this.
Oh God, she
Just
actually
letting
likes,
you know.
she actually likes puns. I forgot that. Oh God.
Okay, so let's get ready and leave with the 200 men from the east gate.
Yes, but I
Any gate but the east gate.
No, the east gate, the best gate.
Yes.
Oh.
And I will experiment tonight a little bit with what can be done because I don't know what conditions are going to be later on. And have I spoken to Otto about the little river part to escape?
Yeah.
Can we actually discuss
Yeah, of course.
this? Okay. So, given that there's few passes, I think we should take the boat from Pravia. It is much easier to escape 200 men in a boat. Where will they find as many boats, to be able to put the 200 men in? So probably they'll be able to follow us, but not that many. So we would really get rid of as many as we can there. And then I don't think they would expect us to take the go by water.
Well, yeah, I think that if we evade them in Pravia, and they wouldn't expect it because I so masterfully accepted their help to begin with, and then if we lose them within the city, then we can try and make them think that we would head for one of the passes,
Exactly.
but instead go follow the river and escape.
Is Trist present when you want to have this conversation? Is it still in that room?
He's still in the room, but we never hear him. So
Yeah, that's true. He actually says that's not a bad
I never
plan.
know where Trist is.
He's always leaning on a wall somewhere.
Yes.
Yes.
In a somber mood.
Yep.
Yeah.
With a cowl drawn over his face and eyes glinting within.
He's not that bad.
He's just
He's just in the background.
permanently with a 30 degrees like
To 5 o'clock shadow.
towards the wall.
He says that actually makes sense as a plan. Like, pretend
Unlike-
we're using one of the passages and just take a boat and go south. It will buy us at least some time, I expect, he says.
It would buy us time, and I'm very nervous about the passages because those are the easiest points for them to lock us in from one side or the other. So I feel much more comfortable on the boat.
I am certain that at least some of his men will keep close tabs to me for reasons of the Duke. When we reach Pravia, I can lead them on a wild goose chase while one of you tries to find a boatman willing to help. Unless one of you knows how to.
Please tell me you're a sailor too.
Well, you're the Nord. You're presumably somehow acquainted. Not necessarily.
I have one in survival, one in firearms.
So you need a boatman. Let's put it. You need someone that can.
We can find a boatman. That's not an issue.
Yeah, but it's best done without them.
The thing is, how do
knowing
we
each
sink
other.
every other ship at the same time so that they don't follow us?
Well,
We can
some
spice
could.
up the flashbangs.
Will you let this flashbangs go?
Yes, when it's time. Okay,
I think you just should have played a pyromaniac Dwerom.
Yeah,
Seriously.
like reroll the character.
Yeah,
This
it's like
is- Okay, so I think we all agree on the plan.
except the East Gate.
Oh, the East Gate is the best part of the plan.
They
One
said
of-
south. Do you want to change that?
Yes, they did say south.
Excellent. We
Well-
can leave by the South Gate.
No question.
We don't set them from the beginning. We want to make them believe that we'll do everything they say.
Yep.
I think that could be a good plan.
Okay, Southgate it is then.
Excellent. Well, you encounter no problems at the south gate. Not really. Maybe word has not reached yet about the guy who punches guards. But
It was cheaper than bribing.
everything is cheaper.
Plus,
than Prague.
rosemary was expensive.
You do see the 200 men waiting outside information. The brothers, the Kurzik brothers, are there to greet you very politely, showing all proper etiquette towards the nobility among you. And you start pretty much immediately on your horses. Only the two commanders have horses, otherwise there's about 20 scouts that just immediately leave ahead in various directions. It kind of makes sense. They want to let local lesser nobility know that, there's 200 men passing through your lands. It's best not to see this as see this as an aggressive mood. We are very friendly, just an escort of nobility.
Then
stuff
here's
like
some
that.
money to make you feel better.
But now, Mathilde, if you want to try to work on those flashbangs, you have a set of skills that could help, because your scientific knowledge in that department is not exactly that great, but you could tamper with it otherwise, if you want.
Can't we bug them until they book us at an inn?
On the way.
On the way, so that she has some privacy to do it in?
Yeah, but she would need to study more than one night, so she kind of thinks about it before she actually commits to the... She can
Okay.
experiment in a minor manner without raising suspicion. She has that kind of skill set. It's more of a mental exercise than anything else. But yeah, at some point during that week, you will stay on more than one occasion at an inn. You and the two commanders, the rest will set up camp. So you should have that luxury, let's say. But in the meantime, just to make sure you have the theory right, I would like you to roll for me an intelligence. I think I'd rather have. Yeah, an intelligence plus your special skill, which I think is 1, if I remember correctly.
Wait. My specials. I have intelligence and in skills.
And plus 1. Maria, your intelligence plus 1.
My intelligence plus 1, so it's
Yeah.
5.
He's meaning the super special skill.
Oh, 1 success. Can
One
we
success.
special skill it second time around? 0 successes, forget it.
But you had on your initial roll, you had 1 success. That's if
My
I...
initial roll
Okay.
success.
Well, you are certain you can make, but you pretty much can only manipulate without compromising the important stuff that you have to carry. You can only make 1 that won't have that much of an effect. It would more create a distraction somewhere else than actually cover you or blind someone.
Okay.
It's a loud bang, essentially.
Okay.
So you take one of the materials you have that are not really essential, and you kind of charge it, let's say, with some latent power that you can release upon command. That makes it a little unstable in the meantime, so you can wait until you're closer to use it, or even make it in Pravia. You make all the necessary preparations, but you can't really make more than that 1 loud bang.
Okay, I have only one loud bang,
Yeah.
and I'm on horseback. This is where Mathilde is. I'm very nervous.
You don't
Is
have to
the-
make it now. That's what I'm saying. You can wait until you're
Yeah.
in Pravia and make it then.
Okay.
But your
Okay.
research and your experiments show that this can be done.
So imagine while you were doing
Yeah.
the research, you were doing it with very small.
Yeah, exactly.
With
Flame.
very small Yeah. At which point I walk up and I say, if all you want is a loud noise and an awkward smell, I can provide that anytime.
It is going to be louder than that.
We can.
Is that a challenge?
in Pravia, I would think we would be able to find more stuff for you to.
Depends on how long you want to stay there.
Yeah, that's true.
So you are about a couple of days outside of Pravia when some of the riders, which come and go at all times, comes back. He talks with the commanders. Let's say
I try
a
to
day's outside.
conveniently get my butt close. You know, I try to be close to them. And over here.
Roll. For starters, roll a dexterity and subterfuge. Let's see how close you can get.
Subterfuge.
I figured, but
Nothing. I hate horses anyway.
your horse doesn't really. It's not like
It
you're
doesn't
familiar. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he goes a little towards the other direction with heavy clop. In the meantime. It's not the first time this
You
happens.
touched
so-
all the dice when you rolled them, didn't you?
Except for those, I don't like those.
Yeah, they're hard to see.
You can have those.
Anyway, and let's see, Ingolf is the one that comes towards you, and he says, "I'm afraid I have some bad news. Unfortunately, His Excellency, the Ambassador Pierre Targol of Dornal-Luriel, as you know her, there was some misunderstanding about import taxes and Galan wines, so he is indisposed for the next few days. I'm sure it will be resolved quickly and we can wait, of course, if you want. But if you are on a hurry, I would suggest we spend one night for you to get some rest, maybe two if you really need it, and then be on our way."
This wouldn't happen to be Luriel's contact in the city, would it?
Yeah, he is. He said he was the ambassador of Luriel in the city.
No, I think we should wait for him to be disposed. No, he was indisposed. He shouldn't be disposed.
Disposed of, as in the body.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think we should. I think
we're ahead of schedule anyway, aren't we? We arrived in the city 3 days earlier.
that's
Yes, to
one
get
thing.
rid of the 200 men that we called on to follow us. No comments.
No, he means
Nope.
Versailles. He means Versailles.
No, that's what she was mentioning. We tried to
Yeah.
shake our tail and instead of a
Yeah,
tail,
yeah.
we got an entire bear.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, but nobody.
exactly.
It's
Nobody
like-
expects a Spanish Inquisition
It's-
dancing bears.
It's about beating the expectation.
I see.
They would think, 4 people in the carriage. Nope, 203.
4.
204. And no carriage. Like, whoa, who does that?
Anyway, they have made reservations
I will
for you
add-
at an inn.
I
Because
will add one more to tactics foo.
No.
I think I deserve it.
You can spend it there once I give you experience someday.
I think waiting in Pravia a little bit more is good because that means we can leave as soon as possible and they wouldn't really start being concerned until a day or two later.
Excellent. I leave you two to negotiate. It doesn't work so well for me.
Well, Otto's negotiating powers are.
I'm convincing in what I...
In any case, you are at a beautiful inn. Very expensive. Not that kind of inn, unfortunately. Although there's bound to be some in the city, obviously. The city is actually very beautiful. It is very unique in the sense that you see statues of majestic figures sort of everywhere. They are on the walls, at the sides of the walls, they are on every square, they are outside large mansions, outside chapels, be it theist or devoted to some deist aspect. Both are accepted apparently in the city. They vary from a single kind of kingly figure with vague features to magnificent sculpts with and complicated with like waves coming out from underneath, combining with a fountain and from different materials, but they are all over the city, everywhere. It's like this is what this city does. It makes statues, apparently. This is the first impression you would get. It is very beautiful, especially in the older part of town where better and bigger, kind of more noble housings are.
So it's like Venice and Rome had a love child. Minus the canals.
With a little of Firenze there, yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to talk to the commanders first. I'd like to, at some point, find an opportunity to talk to them because I want to say that it's very important that we stay here a little while because as a part of what I was instructed in my mission, it was to come in contact with the ambassador when I reach Pravia.
It is of course your call, sir.
So we have to stay here until he is available for me to come in contact.
He raises no objections. He is fine. It's your call.
That's right. I say condescending. That's right.
Yeah, this will go well. We're not suspicious at all.
Actually, can you roll for me a manipulation and
I think that
and persuasion?
I think that wouldn't have happened.
Me or him?
But
no. The one that negotiated.
Does my composure count though? Because I'm like so straight faced in what I say. Does it
manipulation?
What is manipulation though?
The one right above with only the 2 dots.
But I don't like it.
Yeah. And as I said, persuasion.
What is this kind of abuse that I'm taking? I'm a noble.
Persuasion is
excellent. You're rolling 1 dice. Enjoy.
I'm using will.
Only 1. You're using will.
Yeah, so another one.
Another 3. Will is 3 dice.
Oh.
And remove 1 point of willpower, please.
When do I
actually yet another? So put 2 scratches underneath so we can track them.
What in the willpower?
Yeah. You regain them. You regain 1 when you act on a vice. Mm-hmm. And you regain all of them when you act on a virtue in a way that harms you but benefits another.
Yeah.
That's interesting. What is mine?
We have them on the other character sheets. We'll go through them again.
Okay.
Ooh. Interesting. Roll the 10 again.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. 2.
Okay.
It's pretty good. That's right.
He seems to nod, and as I said, he says that is of course your call, sir. But by his reaction, you see that okay, this makes sense.
I shouldn't have said that's right condescendingly.
No, that wasn't it. It was how persuasive you are that this is part of your mission more than anything.
Okay.
So
thinking is, doesn't matter that he doesn't know that I was lying. Thinking is that
once more, you are gathered in a room. Once more, you are certain that you are being watched. Your room looks towards the small square outside the inn, where a grand statue with a man holding his hand like that and an eagle or a hawk seems to land on it. Maybe a convenient reminder, maybe just happenstance, you know.
I like how every time we're all in the same room.
Yeah, but this is what adventure parties do.
Vice. Lack of personal space. Lack of respect to other people's personal space.
And what Trish suggests, he says, I think after what you said, we could pretend to wait for a few days. I'm sure there will be further delays in the preoccupation of the good ambassador. but we could use that time to escape when they least expect it. It makes sense that they would expect us to talk with the ambassador, or that we would wait for that. But that gives us 3, maybe 4 days.
I think we need to move as quickly as possible to get, if we need to find a boat person. What's the word?
Captain!
A captain.
A captain.
Yeah.
An admiral.
An experienced swimmer. To help us.
This will go well.
With the boat.
I'm actually thinking maybe it's worth it if you write a note and I sneak out and get it to the ambassador.
I'm pretty sure that at this point the ambassador is controlled or guided by the other guy. I think if we actually come in contact with them, they will know.
Is it worth it? Because this is actually something I'm good at. Disregard what will happen once I actually roll the dice. But this should be something I'm good at.
Well, the ambassador, you haven't been given any information where he is. Of course, you could find out from other sources, probably better.
Him.
Any. That's up to you. On the other hand, he could be bought off. He makes a valid point. He could be bought off, conveniently making himself indisposed. He could actually be out of the picture, not
Or they
permanently,
could just
perhaps.
be telling us that he is, because we haven't tried to contact and ascertain this on our own.
That is another
I
thing.
love
that-
using words like ascertain as a northern barbarian.
You're very eloquent.
Yes, very eloquent northern barbarian.
Yeah, university in Mannheim is very...
No, but basically all we have is their word until we actually try to reach.
I think that to this point, my thinking is that if we speak to him, they will know. And at this point, he may not know that we're lying, because obviously he would know that there are no such plans made. I made up the fact that we have to talk to him. And if he figures that out, then I'm thinking that other people they're going to figure out. And to be quite honest, I think that it's best right now that not even Uriel knows where we are. Because
She's gonna kick our ass for going with her political opponent.
that, and whoever her contacts are, they could be bought off, or they could be even if they're not bought off, they could be persuaded to talk. So I think that the best course of action is that no one really knows where
Why
we are.
don't we get bought off?
That makes sense. We've lost a lot of money so far.
No, you're kind of in the positive now, because he took care of the tab at your biggest expense. The horses you kind of, looted from the people that came to steal from you.
We
Yeah, remember when they attacked us at the inn? These are their horses.
Yeah, exactly.
yes, I know. We borrowed.
I think after you shoot someone in the head, I think it's a
yours.
robbery.
My right of conquest.
It's not a robbery when they tried robbing you.
Yes, that's a nice way of putting it. But I have
Legal is out on that one. just saying.
Do we?
Tris,
I'm a little bit confused.
Mhm.
But we don't want Uriel to know where we are.
Mhm.
I am very confused. We don't want anybody to know where we are. Do we have any kind of friends around? Because
supposedly the ambassador is a friend. Now, this very conveniently timed, could suggest that he's doing it himself, or that he was played and he was framed, or that something that everybody knew all of a sudden was very important and we had to look into it. It could be a number of things. I think that Tris says that I think what Osto is trying to say is that it's not about your patroness that she should know, it's more about her agents.
her agent's not knowing.
Those could be coerced, one way or another.
Yeah.
Do you have a way of
Well-
getting word back to her?
Well, surely just letting her know that you're okay, the ambassador would communicate.
If he's
Not under the river you're going to sail. At the bottom of that river.
he's not in pieces at the bottom of a well. Yeah, river will do.
I'm interested by Rolf's letter to the ambassador. What is your intention with writing him a letter?
Not him, her, and telling him, get it to her. My intention is her not killing me when I go back.
Okay.
We're very sorry, but we had to say yes. That's pretty much what he wants to say right now.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Politely say your plan sucked, your court is infiltrated, and we had to make the best do, but we have your best interests at heart. Please don't kill us.
We will see this through with gusto.
And okay.
I would only say it's complicated. And send it.
Okay, so who we write this letter? How does this move?
You don't have to actually write it, just you can give me, at least, tell me what it's about. What does it say? That's all. In the meantime, Triss says that whenever you want,
I
will
use him
distract.
to use pretty words to say that, you know,
Your
this
court
has
is
been a
infiltrated.
royal clusterfuck.
Yeah.
I think we're admitting that we're gonna play the 200 people off in a letter.
No.
No, we are communicating with our patron, telling her this is a royal clusterfuck. This was the best option of many that we had. Please don't kill us. And then if we escape, she'll be like, loyal agents.
Yes.
If we don't escape, she'll be like, those lazy
traitors.
fuckers. But at least we reached back to her. It doesn't say anything about our...
I think if we reach Roche, if we get there, without 200 people, I think that says... I'm a little hesitant. Okay, what we could do is then leave the letter just before we disappear.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the point. It doesn't have to be delivered on the first day.
Because if we give it off right now, and anyone reading it understands that
They're not entirely happy about
we're
this
not entirely
arrangement.
happy about this arrangement, they might not just come after us right away, but they might start looking paying a lot more attention to us.
Okay. Okay. Just tell me where to find this fucker.
Fornicator.
Fornicate.
Okay, well, is there is Trist capable of figuring things out?
No, but he can create a very good diversion and have people follow him.
No, I mean to find out where the ambassador is.
No, but no, but he can create a distraction for you guys to go around.
This is getting complicated. No distractions. No, we're good.
No, that's the easy part. Don't worry about that. He says, "I'm pretty sure they will keep an eye on me."
Yeah, but it's a whole hassle. This is
Can
way
I-
more
I will take a
complicated.
walk. I'll be honest. I will
way
take a
more
walk.
complicated.
I will take a walk.
I have a question.
No, but it gets complicated.
just
Find
go-
if we don't know where the guy is, it's another stage and level of complication to the whole thing.
I think I can just
I
ask
s-
the commanders because
Yeah,
they're expecting me to need to talk to him. So I'm like,
That's
yeah.
what I was saying.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's expected that we will talk to him and to her and communicate with her.
Yeah. Okay. So I would ask where to find the ambassador if the commanders know.
Oh, well, they give you the sort of address to his. It's not exactly a huge mansion, but it's a very nice home.
Okay. So
You give me the address? Well, I mean, knock on the door, find out if the story checks out at least a little bit, and I'll snoop in and I'll try to find out if it's actually true.
yeah, quite a streetwise barbarian.
No, this shit I did daily. It's how do you think you raid? How do you think you raid a town? No, how do you think you raid a town?
Up in the Nordic villages.
No. Climbing over walls and unlocking gates is what we do.
Fair point. Okay. So, and at the same time, we need to find an admiral, a captain.
So, it's actually, from the outside at least, you kind of see that the story checks out when you reach, it's in the older part of town, but not like in the center where the most elevated stuff is. Yeah. But it is close enough to be considered respectable, very respectable. But you do see that there are actually kind of auditors with guards there, counting stuff, making an inventory of what's in there, just double checking that everything is in order and taxes have been properly paid.
Okay.
This, of course, is a huge insult to the Countess, but it's the latest of the series you can expect.
Exactly. He's not particularly worried about her opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'll come back at night.
All right. In the meantime,
Ninja barbarian.
In the meantime, I think we're gonna need. Are we gonna need some supplies, like, to go north? Or, are we gonna need some supplies for the trip, like for us escaping? Are we gonna need to?
Mainly, you need a boat. Can we concentrate on the boat?
Yep.
It's more important.
Boat.
Where do pirates hang out? In this town.
We don't need a pirate.
Where can I get a ship?
We just need a barge. We just need a subtle way of getting subtle. That's exactly us. We need a subtle way of getting access to a barge or boat
I think
or
we
traders.
should walk into town and walk around and look at the beautiful sculptures and find our way next to the river.
I like this idea. I think it checks out in their mind that Mathilde would want to go sightseeing, and me as her bodyguard would go with her.
Yes, and there's pretty statues on the way.
Exactly.
So,
Okay.
There's one that's prettier than you out there, Otto.
Impossible. There's no.
Statues are not technically human, so they can have more dots than you can possibly have.
Details. They failed to capture my living charisma and aura.
You could destroy it. Just saying.
Deface it.
Deface it.
Deface it.
So, stealth mission during the night, casual walk,
and ear to
the ground.
And if you see anything that can be used for any sort of like any sort of a louder bang, just.
Oh man, I really must bring some Dwegum here. Like, you're gonna be best buds.
This is a tactical decision. When 200
deploying explosives, tactical decision.
When 200 people are after you, you cannot stab them all to death. You need something at some point.
You need to explode them.
Bigger.
You need something exactly larger, stronger. Explosives. We don't have them.
This is exactly why the city-states don't want technology.
Yep.
If this is Leandro saying let's blow people up, what would Haslia do with it?
This is a new method, new tactics that I'm putting into practice for my kingdom, for my dukedom, fiefdom, house. Okay. So
Barony.
Barony, yeah.
It goes smaller and smaller. House.
Cottage.
Apartment in the slum.
Okay, yeah, let's do this.
All right.
What is Trist? Are we doing?
If you want him to do something specific, he is happy to help.
I think that would be a good idea if he could draw a little bit attention on him, so everyone else can move a little bit more free.
He says that if you leave right after me, I expect there will be a small gap of agents watching.
Okay.
Some will follow.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that.
You see that he's kind of annoyed with this. Like, it's something that he doesn't really like.
Trust.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you like to use? You don't like talking?
Is
He's peace and quiet. to do his job.
Is
as
this
he can.
plan not depressing enough? Is that the issue?
No, the plan is exciting. There will be pirates and everything,
And
and explosions and a ninja. It has everything.
So I would like to ask Tristan. I see that you are a little bit, let's say, annoyed with this turn of events.
He says, he turns and looks at you, even though his annoying kind of expression is still obvious. He says, I thank you for your concern, but I'm fine.
Okay, we're done here.
We tried.
We're done here.
What more did you expect from Trist?
Thank you. I don't know.
I know
yes.
from Conquest Batman. What else can I expect from Trist Wayne? You know something? You're welcome. You do you.
We don't judge. Safe circle.
You do you.
So, Trist is ready to kind of divert at least some of the men that watch over you when you are. And he just takes his stuff and goes away.
I think Mathilde, let's get ready. Let's do it.
I'm ready.
And you do see, like, with some careful observation, you do see that actually two people that were, one was kind of casually playing dice with somebody else. One of them immediately gets up and kind of follows from a stealthy distance. While the other, who is much more obviously just leaning against the wall, bored, when he sees that guy, he, like 5 paces behind Grist with no shame or subterfuge. And they immediately start going behind him. They don't say anything, but it is obvious that they are following him.
When they leave, I wait to see if anybody follows them.
Not really, no. You don't notice anything. There's really not much. There's still the one guy that played dice with, from the two, that one guy still stays there. And he's kind of practicing, I guess, with his wrist.
I sit with him.
Okay.
I lose money. We chat. I fuck off.
Excellent.
That pretty much sums it up.
Well, he's playing. I think it's a good idea that we go. So.
Good. You are... Actually, roll for me a perception or something.
Perception is composure wits.
Composure wits. True. Composure and wits. Thank you.
Composure 5 dice. Whoop whoop.
And your wits is pretty high too.
And wits
And 3.
3. How much of them?
Maria as well. Your
5.
A 10.
2 successes.
tens.
I got 2
A 9.
tens.
A 9.
reroll the 10s.
No, I did, and I got 2 6s.
Okay, so 2 successes, Maria. Ooh.
Yeah.
5 successes.
Excellent.
Almost.
You.
Yeah, when we're not in battle, we do great, Dodo.
I know, right? we don't even need the smoke bombs or anything. Disappeared.
Okay, but this was to realize if they are following you.
I did it though spectacularly.
You did it spectacularly. At some point you turn and, what do you want?
Well,
Anyway, you are fairly certain that with the added distractions of your 2 companions, you leave without anybody trailing you.
nice.
You also notice that immediately kind of both guys were replaced as you're leaving, but you're already ahead. They haven't noticed you leave yet. While Rolf is making a good job kind of constantly distracting the other to delay him from notifying the others left.
Mm-hmm. Nice. This is teamwork, guys. I'm proud of you.
He's useful.
Yeah.
I should have rolled an assassin.
You
Like
see-
a savvy, cunning,
you see what
politically
happens?
wise
You see
assassin.
what happens when my plan comes together.
You can see, but now with an assassin you can really punch him. Now you can.
Okay.
Yeah, eventually, once I've served my purpose, I fuck off upstairs.
Oh.
I remember to tally how much I lost and I charge it to the countess.
That's even better than I thought.
Put it in the letter. Put it in the letter.
P.S.
P.S.
You owe me this much.
In runes, written in blood, carved in runes at the bottom of the thing. That's not ominous. That's fine. What does Rolf want? The end of the world? Oh, no. Just 15 copper. Okay.
You could take a walk as well if you want. You are fairly certain somebody will be with you, but that's no reason not to look at the city.
No, fuck them. Let them get bored while I sleep.
Okay. That works. So, where do you two head off to?
I'm trying to understand the geography of the city.
Okay.
Because what we're trying to do is find out where the water is.
East.
We need to get to the... Is there a port?
It's not exactly a port. I mean, there is an installation that it's a bit outside of town. It's more of a fishing port instead of a transfer port. Further down to the south, you see something bigger. You see a better establishment. You see like bigger piers and a probably artificial kind of dug up or otherwise created. Sorry, I'm looking at you there. Sorry, Maria.
Yeah.
And artificially created for bigger barges that transport and send trade to the south.
And I know this.
You can see it when you kind of go outside the city towards the fishing port. You see this.
And this is towards the south, and we want to head south. So everything's in the right direction.
The thing that captivates your eye more is that huge cliff they were talking about. It immediately captures your... Yeah, it's like a one-sided canyon. You know what I mean. It immediately captures your attention from a scientific point of view. This is exactly what you study. Like, the object of your studies is obvious in front of you as you see the different layers of different stones and minerals. You see her kind of stop and she starts babbling on her own. But look, you see the asbestos there and blah, 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 blah. This will be an exciting walk for you.
Oh, okay, I got it. Sorry, yes. Okay, so I don't stop talking.
Yeah.
And what's the most beautiful part is the colors, because each mineral has its own color. If you see, you can see the strata. I'm already bored. It's like a painter's palette.
I would like to see.
It's so beautiful, Otto.
I would like to see. Actually, you should keep continuing explaining the
Please RP every single moment of this.
I want to hear everything. Tell me all about it. How many strata are there?
Why is that one red and that one purple?
While you start hearing a white noise that comes from Mathilde, you do realize that on multiple levels, even if you are followed, this is a perfect cover. This would attract her. She would want to go closer and study this.
I agree, and we will. Trust me, I want to count every single strata in there. Or is it strata? I think you would know and correct me on that. But at the same time, I'd like to think if there is any place in which I would be able to find a person of Navy rank.
Out of all the useless information, for you useless, very exciting for her. She gives you the one thing you keep is that the proper and kind of Tellian name for this is the Decidium. That's it. That's all you keep. The rest is just...
The Decidium is the name of a metal?
No, of the whole thing.
Huge thing.
Oh, it's called Decidium.
Yeah.
Okay.
What you do notice from another point of view, because she's looking at the strata and you're looking at the passage that goes up, you see that it is very heavily guarded and they actually stop carts from passing. Carts, yeah, that we're going to go upwards. There is a passageway, and here it's not as kind of sudden. The fall is not as sudden. It's more walkable or climbable, let's say, than further south. There's actually a road going up, or multiple passages rather, but you see that they are all kind of blocked. They're a bit further to the north from where you go and where the port is, just kind of like 5 minutes, not more. But you see that they are closed. There are guards there with Pravia's collars on display, and they stop the carts.
Okay, well, that...
You realize that while you were watching this, Mathilde, so excited, is already a bit further ahead, still talking.
I'm gonna try and follow. I'm gonna try and see if we can get to if I can get Mathilde to see the Decidium. I don't see a reason why there should be a problem that they tell us no and we can pass through. Neither I think it would surprise anyone thinking that Mathilde the scholar wanted to go see the.
They allow you to kind of cross the bridge that is there. It's kind of a bridge a floating bridge. It's not really a bridge. They allow you to cross because you can see that there are a few buildings on the other side, like almost buried on the cliffside. But you do see that the passageways right after like the first few tens of meters are all closed, like properly barricaded.
Well, I see. Well, by going across, looking back, is there anything that I could see that would suggest that if I would go there and I would be able to find a person, or I would see any place that barges are there?
You see the fishermen. The fishermen's kind of village. It's not really a village. It's only a handful of buildings, small shacks, or houses that also have a small kind of port where a barge is there. Some are missing right now. But others, you can see a couple that are there and that are working on their nets.
Okay, well, after Mathilde, you see what you want to see. When we're done with that, I would like to go to the fishing area, and see if I can talk to anyone about getting a ride.
Mathilde, as you're closer now and you can actually inspect and take samples even from the stones that have fallen of various materials that can be found there. You remember the vibration you felt back in Bercy?
Mm-hmm.
You feel something similar, or although very low and distant, like a very distant rumble instead of a tone in your ears. This could suggest residual powers at play, but natural, not really something that you can't really feel any recent, let's say, nobody has tampered with it recently. It's just there. It's natural, your talent, but natural. Not channeled in any way. It's just there.
I look at Otto and I say, can you feel that?
No.
No. I have to tell you, I have a very strange, I'm feeling something very strange. There is something very powerful. I don't know if it's still here.
You don't think it is. You don't think it is. You don't feel like it's something there. It's...
Yeah, I'm getting something. And can I use this opportunity to tell Otto?
You could.
A little bit about...
Yeah.
Because it's the one moment that...
That Trist is not there.
No, he's there. He's in the corner.
That Trist is not there. He's in the corner, like with one knee bent,
like this.
Yeah.
Hood thrown on for no reason.
He's always there. It doesn't matter where it is. You look at the port all the way down. He's there somewhere on the mast.
It's a fine Wally thing.
Yeah, exactly. So Otto, I have to tell you, I don't know exactly what's going on, but the same thing I felt in Bercy, I feel it here, and it's slightly stronger than in Bercy. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's a power that's coming in through the ground, and I can feel it. I don't know if it passed by, if it's somewhere around, but there's something very strange here. And
that raises a question a little bit. And what I want to ask is that Mathilde's profession and expertise, is that every person that is expert in metallurgy
No.
Not as far as you know.
He's the
Not
same
as
way.
far as
No,
you
I'm
know.
asking Matilde if she thinks that these kind of feeling that you get around certain things, is it something common amongst other scholars?
No. This is something I discovered when I was.
Because then my question would be, then why would Duriel ask you specifically?
Well, I'm still wondering myself.
Like, because I think that if it's just for prospecting a mind and just going through seeing what the possibilities of a mind, why would it need you specifically, and at the same time need a person that gets the feeling that you get around certain.
But
It is a common. Sorry, it is a not a secret, or if it is a secret, it's a commonly known secret, or at least there are rumors that Luriel herself, part of the reason she has her name is because she has talents. She doesn't really hide it. She doesn't flaunt them in any case, but it is yet another reason why she is considered a controversial personality in the conclave. Mm-hmm. And she doesn't have many friends with the church.
The plot thickens.
so I'm slowly starting to understand myself that something strange. I never quite understood why me. I was in the middle of my studies and I get interrupted quite violently from my studies, not given an option. But I really feel I feel very awkward right now because what I'm starting to feel again, I feel how small we are. This is what happens with me. It's my connection to the earth. I can feel its power. Don't it's laughing at me, Otto. I can see it. But what I'm telling you, it's true. It's true. There is something very, very, very strange, and I can also hear it. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? I go down, and I put my ear to the ground.
I'm so glad it's you handling this.
I'm so glad this is going no loud because like whoever's looking at it is like, okay, they're not trying to. I think he's trying to get her off that rock. I don't think they're trying to go anywhere. Okay, Mathilde, I will try to politely take you with me.
Let's
I think
talk
you
to
need
the
some
good
shade.
fisherman.
Let's go and
a
find
glass
some
of water
fishermen.
in the shade might not be a
Yes.
bad idea.
Yes, I forgot. It's just that this really distracted. This is the problem, Mathilde. I'm still overwhelmed because it's a power. It's something I can feel the power of the earth around me, and I see how powerful it is. You don't understand how strange the feeling is because it makes you feel very weak. You can see how weak humans are. You just don't
6,
understand.
actually. Speak for yourself.
As she keeps talking like that, you throw a glance back, trying to gently guide her with your arm around her, towards some shade, conveniently near the fisherman, maybe asking for some water or something. Looking back, you have no idea what she's talking about. She may be completely crazy, which would fit with the general theme of the group that has been assembled. But look at her. However, looking back, you do know the feeling you get, like a Leo in front of an extremely tall building or a very imposing natural phenomenon.
Yeah, like this grounded feeling, like the awe.
Exactly. So that thing that she says, I feel small, you realize potentially what she's talking about, but for her it's exaggerated, obviously. It might be her perception.
For me, it's like it's a natural wonder, but other than that, it's...
For her, it might affect her a little more.
She's trying to understand what's happening.
In the meanwhile, this is getting some water. I'm gonna try and talk to I'm gonna try to find someone. Not necessarily. I don't want to talk to a group of people. I just want to.
Oh, you see, I told you saw him from the other side. There is a man kind of in his 40s, which is very old at that time.
No, he's not. I'm my age is 30. Don't.
He's an old timer.
He's an old timer.
Well,
You're getting
fine.
there.
So I go.
He's sitting there, mending his nets and everything, and as he sees you, he very politely and with a very kind of open smile greets you.
Okay. I greet. Hello there.
Is something wrong with the young lady? He says.
Yes, but nothing you should concern yourself about. Don't worry about it.
Oh, because you see that he sees that
Someone
you kind
she's
of...
she's a scientist and she gets very very excited once once he sees this natural wonder that you have here. You guys take it as granted sometimes, but she has a request. She works with this kind of. She's an academic in this kind of field, and there is one of the layers of rock down there that has a very specific sign at night, and it would be very important if you wouldn't mind if we could hire your boat and you could take us down further down a little bit, so that she could take a closer look there. Do you think that it would be possible that in the next few days when we had some time that you would take us down the stream? It's a little close to the other harbor, but it's from the side that we would need a boat to get there.
How far down the stream do you need to go? He says.
A bit far. It's just before we reach the end of the before we get to the other harbor.
Is that the point where you push him in the water?
No, it's more the point where the large, heavy-armed, dangerous men tell him, keep sailing.
Keep sailing. That's pretty much that point.
Oh, he's such a gentle soul. He says, well, certainly I could do something for you. I mean, the river at night is not really as safe as one would expect, but I've been doing this all my life. I could certainly help you.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it. I mean,
it's gone.
Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. It's important that we go there. At night. There are certain, I don't know how she can explain it better. I cannot go through it. She already lectured me about this 5 minutes straight, and I can no longer.
He smiles as he offers you kind of a mug with water.
But yeah, we just want to go there. We just want to take some samples, and unfortunately, we have to do this at night. But yeah, that will be. I will be more than happy to make it worth your time, if you wouldn't mind.
He suggests that for a single silver crown, he could do it.
Quite an expensive boat, right? But I understand. I'm putting you in the middle of the night. You could be sleeping. You could be getting ready for work the next day. I understand that. Well,
I will lose the fishing of the next day if this takes long. That is my...
Most likely.
Oh, you have no idea, dude.
Well, you might lose the fishing of the next month, but that sounds. I mean, that sounds fair.
That would be amazing. You finally go to the next town, which is on complete other side of the map. Your silver coins. Thank you for a good ride.
Well, I understand. Well, as I said, I cannot not compensate you, obviously. So yeah, if that means a silver coin, then a silver coin it is. Make sure to charge it to the other guy.
Put it in the leather.
Let's make a tab.
You have been given.
You know, she gave us a huge pouch of money.
Exactly.
Well, why spend it?
Yeah, I don't want to spend it either.
I know, right?
God.
High five.
You know what? You could, you are armed. You could take other people's money.
No, that doesn't make as much.
Plan.
It's not as
goal.
It's not as fun as being like super cheap about it. Saving is a form of making money. Okay.
Anyway, so he says that if you could let me know on the same kind of afternoon when I come back, so I can prepare for the evening.
Yeah, definitely.
So I can empty from nets and everything the boat.
Yeah, you should empty it.
Should go fast and smooth. Any
By the way,
kind of motorbike?
by the way, what rank are you in the team?
We were looking for Admiral.
Please wear your official uniform as we're going down the street.
So that's semi-arranged.
Okay. Let's head back. If you want to check out other statues in the meanwhile, we need to find the really handsome one and deface it in the way back.
There's just something wrong with you.
Yeah.
I'm smelling the glass, the mug of water you gave me.
What kind of metal is it?
No, it's a very rich water. It smells. Here, smell.
Until drink the water, please.
It smells
You
like
s-
sulfur.
You see that the man is, well, I'm sorry, my lady, if it's not...
It's like
Oh, you made him feel bad.
and that's perfect, my too, because I'm like, you see, you get now. I have to do this in the middle of the night.
We have to continue the show. Well, the man has no
The
teeth.
thing is, I'm continuing the show. I'm pretty sure Mathilde is pretty sure.
There's no show!
There's no show for Mathilde. This smells like something, and she knows it. Yeah.
You go back?
Yes.
Back to the inn. You hear Rolf before you see him.
The Nordic ninja.
He's preparing for his night mission.
Dun, 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 dun. This will go brilliantly. Hopefully he lets me reduce it to like die rolls. Please let me reduce it to die rolls.
We'll see. Depends on your plan.
It's very simple. Climb out of here, make it there with high stealth, climb into his window, scare the bejesus out of him into giving the letter, and then leave. And come back.
Sounds like a plan.
It's a simple
Sounds
plan.
like a role plan.
Yeah.
I get that. I especially like the beginning, the climbing one.
He's really good at climbing.
Good.
Can
It will be even more fun if you
Can I say something? Can we just find a kid and pay to give the letter to a guard? Doesn't matter. Give the letter to the police at night.
He'll get blocked by all the dudes in the
Yeah,
line.
like
Okay, yeah, he'll say, well, the dudes can read it. Doesn't matter. If the ambassador reads it, everyone knows then. We're working under the assumption that the ambassador is paid off. So even if the guard
Why
sees
would
it,
the ambassador...
Yeah.
That's a guaranteed death.
if they paid off,
Yeah.
why? Why not?
because she won't take it very kindly.
It's like, oh, hello, agent of mine, who I've made rich and wealthy and powerful over times. Oh, you belong to him now. Oh.
No, the information that we would give, I'm
Yeah.
saying.
No, they're just distracting him with all of this
Yeah,
like
that's-
audit and crap. They're distracting him. That's the idea. So I'm going to go when he's not distracted.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Now, he might be distracted. It might be an inappropriate moment to interrupt the man, but
But you know,
I think he's keeping his gold for now, just until this audit is over.
you can tie it onto a rock and throw it in.
will you let me
Ninja
do my
mission!
thing?
Ninja
You do
mission!
your thing, okay? Let me be a barbarian ninja.
That's what I'm afraid. He didn't
Think more
swing
Conan.
with the axe.
Think more Conan, less,
Well,
Nordic barbarian.
True.
Conan snuck and stole stuff.
Oh, all the time.
What?
He was a thief before.
Yeah.
I do hope you're wearing more than Conan.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I do not do the weird creep. What was it? 70s, early 80s, late 70s.
I think. Anyway.
So,
So, it's deep into the night. Your companions are sleeping. Trish came back. He said, no troubles. Beautiful city.
you seem happier.
Yeah, I am.
We're gonna find corpses in the night.
It's
There's
the-
gonna be corpses and stuffed in
it's the
some
first
alley
time
I found
somewhere.
some muggers. It was a good day.
I see you standing instead of leaning.
Is something wrong? Are you ill? So, let us start. I want a combined climb and stealth.
They're the same. So, what are you strength? They're basically the same. I'm rolling 7 dice. Dice, do not betray me.
7 dice.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is what he did.
He's a ninja.
No.
What are you
he's
deciding?
I have not come to expect much.
Okay, there is one success at least.
That is very good.
There are
2, I see a 10
two
there.
successes with a 10. 2 successes.
2 successes. That's for climbing. You have no trouble going up the roof and then kind of jumping to the next building. Now let's see how stealthy this all is.
2 successes.
Let us see how they do on their part. You are confident enough that nobody has heard the thud of jumping in.
There was no thud. It was the quiet whisper of an owl in the night.
Anyway. So the thud.
As she's jumping, like, woo woo, woo woo. As she's jumping from one roof to the other.
Axe and boots and woo.
Masterfully done.
So yeah, I make my way over to.
You don't see. You see that there's actually some traffic even in the night. The city is, for the most part, in that part of town where you are, is well lit.
Okay. I make a point of ducking into an alley. If some poor soul comes in after me, he doesn't wake up.
Roll for me. A perception roll, essentially. Wits and
Oh,
control.
this will go well. 5.
And let me.
Well, there's a 10.
That's very good.
You need to roll this because you dropped it.
And yeah, that's it. There's a 10.
Okay. You're fairly certain that someone is further back following. He doesn't have a very good grasp, but they did realize you left, at least. Well, it was the thud.
Damn it.
Not the woo.
You could try to outrun them.
I try to lose them.
Or, if it's only one, they can't see you if their eyes are closed.
Yeah, I hit him. I was going to be all stealthy and stuff, but no, literally, I duck into an alley, wait around the corner, and then just grab and thump him into the wall a couple of times.
If the eyes are closed permanently.
Couple of times.
You see kind of a youngish lad, about 18 to 20, something like that. Very, very nervous about what's going on. He looks around. He was trying to keep up, and he looks into the alley, then looks ahead. He sees that the couples or whatever go undisturbed, so he rushes into the alley.
And then I just rush him into the other end of the wall.
As he sees kind of a huge hand appear, grabbing him from here, and roll a strength. Simple strength, just to... Or if you have brawl as well.
Yeah, of course I have brawl.
Yeah,
what the fuck kind of question is that?
That is very true.
And then check to see about the wall.
1, 2,
Oh man.
3.
Okay.
3 successes.
Well, it doesn't take much more than that, to be honest, for the young lad, who's usually a runner, to kind of... well, just for good measure.
Yeah, for good measure.
You throw him one more.
I shake him. Is he asleep?
And he just kind of falls into... You're keeping him
Awesome.
standing.
Let him go and continue.
And that's how you lose a tail. You cut it. You reach the house of the ambassador, and you see there is one very bored, half-asleep guard there from the city. You don't see the colors of the Grey Scorpion, and otherwise you see still a light at the kind of second floor. On one window you see still a light. It's from the architecture. It's kind of where you imagine a study would be. He's trying to save his behind.
Okay, that's the window I aim for. I try to find a place where I can climb up, and then I assume the study. It's like what, second floor?
It is, yeah.
How many floors does the house have?
2. I told you it's not
awesome. So I try to get on the ceiling as quietly as possible, and I'll remember where this guy's. I've got the light to guide me.
Yeah, you could.
So I'll get over it, and then I'll climb over it into it.
The roof would not be ideal to reach, but it would be a little difficult to kind of hang from the roof into the window.
Oh,
There's
it's
no balcony.
sloped roof.
Yeah, and
Ah.
there's no balcony. That's the problem. You wouldn't be able to land there.
I
However,
try to-
there is a balcony on the other side, which...
I try to find a convenient opening then.
Yeah, okay. There is, from the other side on the second floor, there is kind of a balcony, kind of big, that overlooks a small yard. It's where he has his breakfast, probably, or
Okay.
something. Just roll a climb for me from the backside. There's no other guard that you can see, at least.
Yes, I like that use of the words 1, 2, 3 successes with 2 tens.
It's fine. You climb up with no problem.
Yeah, I waste my good successes here.
You climb up to the balcony with no problems, and of course the door is closed.
Not for long.
Woohoo!
Yeah, exactly.
What kind of method would you like to use?
A strong, sharp shove.
Okay.
Down and with one.
Athletics and strength. And if you want, you can combine it with a stealth roll
Sure.
to see how.
It's the exact same. Ah, 3.
Okay.
Sto dio, okay.
So 3
Three.
successes.
You feel it's a very simple kind of wooden door. It has no lock or anything, so you will just crack the inside of the
Yeah.
handle. You want to try to be stealthy about it?
Sure, as stealthy as I can be. It's not my main concern. Speed and
Yeah.
getting to him is.
Ooh.
1. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Hey! Ninja! 4 successes!
The only thing that can be heard over your hoo is a gentle kind of. You don't really thud into it. You realize that it's not very strong, and you could easily just do it with just pressure. You don't have to fall into it, and that helps a lot. There's still a noise, but you're pretty sure it could be a cupboard closing or something like that to someone's ears. And you are inside.
I get in very quickly. Quick listen, and I make my beeline to the study.
The only thing you can hear from the distance, where you can see the door is open and there's light coming in, dancing from a few candles, you can hear a guy going very anxious, like, but if I paid 200 for these and 400, damn, I'm so happy they didn't find that painting. He's into that kind of
Okay, I
thing.
just quietly creep up behind him, put a dagger
Excellent.
to his throat.
Oh, well, he will have to roll for composure, I think.
I'm not going to kill him with a dagger.
I know, but he might scream. Come on.
I'll shut him up.
Can you just not just?
You kind of have to. you kind of have to, as you feel his lungs swelling up.
1,
Okay.
2 successes.
And there's a...
I wave the knife in front of him. Shut up. I come from Uriel.
The next one is... He tries to speak with you.
I don't let him turn his head. Ta-ta-ta.
Ninja.
Ninja! And I tell him, you're being distracted to stay away from us. Deliver this to her.
Please tell her it wasn't my fault. It was those wines and
Deliver this and she might let you live.
what?
Before you leave,
Ooh, give me a flashbang! Give me a
before you leave, just whisper to her. And
I was never here.
And then disappear.
Give me a flashbang, come on!
Also,
Stealth mission.
I paid silver for some stuff.
And also, she said hi from Red Lobster. I don't know. Like,
He takes with kind of shaky hands. He takes the envelope.
And I vanish into the night.
thumping.
Will you tell her I did good? You hear as you are already on the balcony. And you're outside.
Awesome.
It's no real trouble to just jump down from where you are.
Another
And
punch to
jump.
the guy that you
That's
left
what I mean.
before.
No, I wasn't going to punch him. I was actually going to wake him up.
Why?
Hmm?
Why?
Tell him that if he reports, I'll find him and gut him.
Or he could not see you and not report anything.
Well, but he knows I left.
From the distance, I told you, you're not sure they know it's you. They know something happened.
Oh, okay. No, then I don't wake him up.
It's a gamble, but
You can just go.
it could go either way. On the other hand, even if they do,
Nah, that's good.
even if they knew, they would expect something like that. It's not out of place.
No. Okay. No, fuck it. I just make it back in.
It's one of the things we all know happen, but we don't talk about openly.
Yeah.
It's between those that are there.
I'm sure Otto composed a beautiful letter.
We will see.
Doesn't roll out.
Did you take the one I left on the left or the right? One was a shopping list.
Why are there two letters?
One was a draft, a completely random nonsense, and the other one was
I would like simply another stealth roll just for your coming back. That's it.
One, two, 3 successes.
Excellent.
only Trist heard you.
Ooh,
I see
this would be interesting. No, you make it. Very disappointed because he only had 1 10 and then rolled another 10. I'm like, this can be done. This can be done.
There's potential in this.
This is interesting. But then it was an ace. Okay. Nothing happens with violence. You're all back at your room.
The plan is going swell.
Dude, that was an under the cover of night that actually paid off.
That's right.
Check
That's
on the bucket list.
Okay, so I think next day we should. I will inform you of our.
At which point I have a question, which is, how are you going to inform him that we're leaving?
Afternoon. Someone can go and tell him. I will go and tell him.
You can both go.
Yeah, me and Mathilde, we're gonna go another trip. I'm gonna have to unglue Mathilde from the rocks again. I will tell the man be ready for tonight, and then we go.
Okay. And then what? Me and Trist create a distraction up on the hill, and you two.
No, we all leave together. Go to the guy, get in the boat, sail.
All of us.
In the high seas, yeah.
How are we going to mislead them towards the passes then?
Trist brings up that during his day in the sun, he found out that for the general public at least, the passages east are closed and the guards give no explanation as to why. I really don't think it has anything to do with us, though. It seemed more of a military operation, not really espionage or subterfuge, political subterfuge.
They're not.
There might be trouble with the pole mag, or I don't know.
They're not likely to waste too much time seeing if we made it up the hill, up the pass. On the other hand, if they get stonewalled the way we would get stonewalled, they won't find out, and they'll have to assume. But then they leave 100 guys here and 100 guys down. But 100 guys are easier than 200, right?
Oh, it's almost as if we only have to flashbang 100 people.
Yeah.
Our
Again,
improved.
Loud noise, no flash.
Bang. We have to bang 100. Wait a second.
Whoa.
Loudly.
This campaign changed.
Loudly. Okay, so
okay, I'll follow you.
Black leather couch.
I know. The black leather couch always adds.
Someday you will tell me what the black leather
We
couch
won't.
is.
Trust me, we will
No, it's
never
good.
tell you.
It's good.
So we'll get ready. We will expertly go to the man. That I will also say, well, this is our friend who's a miner, and miner. He mines, so that's why he helps us. And he's just doesn't like rocks. That's why he always is.
Do you all go then?
No, I mean we'll have at some point we'll all have to get into the boat.
No, go for another walk with Mathilde. Inform
Yeah,
the
exactly.
guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The next day we're gonna go for a walk. You guys are gonna do what you
Yeah,
go.
exactly.
And then at some point,
You tell
we need
him
to-
there's another 2 that will come
Yeah,
with us.
yeah.
Okay.
Aficionado, full plate aficionado.
So we're doing it tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Are we that? are we there? It's all you notify him, no problems. You are fairly certain that somebody kept an eye on them when they left this time, despite your distractions.
But
I've learned.
Before we did that, though, the way in which I informed him is I first took Matilda again to the rocks. Again, I asked her to put her ear on it to see if she can still hear it. I then took her again, went to the man, asked for some water. You pointed out that this time it smelled like sulfur again. And then in that exchange, I told him be ready, and then I took Matilda and left. I went through the whole play.
Well, the good news is, Matilda, you're always excited to be near here.
Mm-hmm.
She might be excited during the evening too, just saying.
Matilda.
Yes, but look at that, it glows a little bit. Arrows firing.
You'll be tied down. Like,
you and the fisherman.
and the fisherman, yeah.
Excellent. Let's cut here. We'll continue the next time with whatever happens at night. So, thanks for watching. More to come.
Yes. As they try to be as ninja as me, but fail.